WQAD. This is News 8's Good Morning Quad Cities.
Good morning and welcome. It is Tuesday, August 27th. I'm Madison Connor in for Angie Sharp.
And I'm Jonathan Ketz. Thank you for joining us. Our top story for today, we're waiting on information from Davenport police right now on a crash that happened last night involving a car and possibly two motorcycles. Happened around 10 last night off West 14th Street in Harrison. That's near the Harrison Lofts and up the road from Davenport Central High School. Our photographer who went to the scene said there was a lot of debris on the road and at least a dozen first responders. No word on what led up to the crash, as well as if anyone was hurt. We'll bring you the latest details as soon as they become available.
A Milan man is dead after a crash near Rhythm City Casino Sunday night. It happened around midnight on the Interstate 74 ramp to Interstate 80. The driver lost control of the car while trying to merge onto I-80. He drove into a ditch and rolled several times. He died from his injuries at the hospital. His name has not been released at this time. Some businesses on the Avenue of the Cities in Moline say something needs to happen to fill empty storefronts.
Now the city of Moline is getting one step closer to a plan that looks to do just that. News 8's Catherine Power joins us live to explain how the city hopes to bring new businesses to the Avenue and what some already there have to say. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, John. One business owner tells me that something needs to be done to fill the empty buildings here on Avenue of the Cities. Now the city of Moline is taking the steps to implement an Avenue of the Cities corridor plan. They're going to add that to the city's comprehensive plan. Now that's a very formal step they're looking to take, but the plan itself is new. It's something the city has just finalized after working on it for several years. You can see some of the renderings here. The city planner tells me one of the biggest highlights is making the avenue better for pedestrians, especially getting pedestrian lights put in at several intersections. He also says the plan looks to create sort of mini plazas to draw people into the area to stay and shop. One of the biggest changes could be taking out some lanes on the avenue and adding turn lanes. Businesses hope this could address one of the biggest issues on the avenue.
Full buildings look better, and full buildings provide a lot of customers for all the individual businesses along the avenue. We have way too many empty buildings.
Now this corridor plan is like a guideline for the city to move forward and point the avenue in the right direction. They're going to vote at their committee of the whole meeting tonight on this plan, and they're going to have a final vote in 2 weeks. John.
Catherine, thank you very much. There are some small things the city is set to start working on soon, but it will take years to fully implement.
Tomorrow afternoon, you have the opportunity to chime in on how to revamp downtown Bettendorf. The city is working on its master plan to get more people working and living in downtown Bettendorf. The latest is the new Essentia Credit Union, which just hosted its ribbon cutting. That new facility will bring 50 new jobs to the area. The city hopes new jobs like Essentia and new apartments like the Bridge Lofts will get more people walking around downtown.
People walking, going across crosswalks, street art, beautification, just to kind of show people that this is not a pass-through, it's a neighborhood. It's a great place to start a business, it's a great place to live, it's a great place to work down here.
The city of Bettendorf is hosting a meeting on how to revise its downtown master plan at City Hall tomorrow afternoon, starting at 4. It is open to the public.
More than a year after the historic Tama building went up in flames, the site's developer has plans to move forward with a new building and retail space for the area. The old plans that would have been done in 2 separate phases have been wheeled down to 1. It will bring 22 apartments and 2 retail spaces to the corner of Jefferson and 3rd Streets. Nearby shop owners say they hope the project gets done quickly and smoothly. It's something that the developer says he completely respects.
They've been through a lot with us on this project. We want to do everything we can to have them like the new building.
Well, the more than $4 million project is expected to begin in the spring. It's estimated that construction would take about 10 to 12 months to complete. Time 6:04. Time for a check the forecast with meteorologist Eric Sorensen, and things are going to look good today.
We're talking this top-down weather because if you've got a convertible, you want to get out and enjoy that. Right now, I-74 bridge is moving along fine in both directions. No issues to speak of here for this morning. Look right now live in downtown Bettendorf. More of the same there. People are moving along just fine here this morning. No accidents to tell you about at 6:04. Right now, we do have a little fog this morning. It's not terribly thick, but you'll want to have the headlights on here after sunrise this morning anyway. 64 now at the Quad City Airport, 62 Davenport. Hometown temperatures 63 Savannah, 59 now in DeWitt. Hey, speaking of 50s, Tomorrow, we're going to be in the mid-50s, so we've got a cooler morning setting up. We've had a cold front move through. Those clouds are pushing off to the east. Showers and thunderstorms out south of Indianapolis, and they'll stay there for today. We've got quiet conditions and mainly blue skies. Temperatures at noon will be in the mid-70s. We'll look for highs right around 80 degrees. Yesterday, I promised you that, what did I say? I said that like 7 days in a row of beautiful weather. Well, the problem is now we've got a chance of rain on Saturday, but we'll talk more about that and why this is not going to be a washout of a weekend. Coming up.
All right, Eric, thank you. Well, in Illinois, students grades 6 through 12 will learn about consensual sex in schools thanks to a new bill signed by Governor J.B. Pritzker. The sex education discussion will cover consent from numerous angles, and here are just a few. First, consent to one sexual activity does not cover other sex acts. Kids will learn that a person's manner of dress does not constitute sexual consent. Past consent does not provide for future consent either. A clinical social worker in Chicago says kids' decision-making skills are still developing, and this is the right time to tackle the touchy subject.
It's a sensitive topic. Some people are going to feel really strongly. Other people are going to be very excited. Other people are going to feel overwhelmed that this is in the schools, and that's okay. Everybody's feelings here are valid, and we have to work together to figure out how are we going to empower and give education to young people so they can be safe and keep others safe.
The consent bill was signed yesterday by the governor and goes into effect this coming January. Well, as the number of vaping-related illnesses rise in Illinois, some high schools in the Chicago suburbs are taking steps to stop students from picking up the habit. One school took the exterior doors off the entrances to bathrooms, and at least 3 schools, they've installed vaping sensors. Some have had to be removed due to false alarms.
A Bettendorf College prep school is seeing enrollment nearly double in international students. Rivermont Collegiate has now opened what they are calling the STEAM Center, a $4.2 million facility. It stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. The A is for the arts. It's full of dorm rooms, classrooms, even a hangout space for all Rivermont students. Since the school's boarding program started 3 years ago, the school's director of development says it's attracted more international students.
First year we had close to 5 or 6 students, the next year 15, and now I believe the number is close to 35.
The students say the new STEAM Center was one of the reasons they chose the school.
You could sit on the Davenport School Board, as this week those interested in becoming a board member can file the paperwork. The district's website has all the paperwork available, and if you don't know all the ins and outs on how to launch a campaign, you can find out how tomorrow night. The district hosting an informational session to explain how to launch a campaign. It's tomorrow night and starts at 6 at the Achievement Service Center or the former J.B. Young School. Well, we are preparing for week 1 of the high school football season and the SCORE pregame pep rally. We will be at Girard High School Friday morning previewing their rivalry game against Rockridge later that night. We need all the students to join us on the field starting at 5:30 a.m. Prizes Friday morning will be provided by First Community Bank.
Illinois U.S. Senator Dick Durbin is making sure everyone is accounted for during the 2020 census. He stressed the importance yesterday of even missing one person.
$18,000 per person lost in federal funds. Maybe tough enough that you pay your taxes, but you'd like to think they're going to come home and help you.
The Trump administration says they are expecting more people to fill out the census forms online and over the phone, as opposed to the old door-to-door method. The Illinois delegation says they are worried that will lead to a much lower count in underserved communities where internet access is limited.
In a few years, Illinois driver's licenses will have a gender-neutral option for people who identify as non-binary, meaning people who don't identify as either male or female. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the law Friday to change Illinois driver's licenses and ID cards. They'll allow people to choose their gender as M, F, or X. The new IDs will be issued in 2024. Illinois is the 15th state to pass laws allowing the gender-neutral option. If you are looking for a new look for your car, you could get your hands on one of these. Iowa drivers will be able to get these new license plates. They're an all-black design with white lettering. You can exchange your old plate for these new ones starting next Tuesday at your county treasurer's office. Standard plates are $35, but personalized ones will cost you $60 instead. Our time right now, 6:09. Still ahead, we are just starting to feel fall.
But what the new Farmer's Almanac is saying about winter, coming up.
No, do we have to go to that? Who's behind these things? You know how hard it is to forecast the weather for 8 days? I've tried my best this